everything. Isabella's alive. Site inspection, evergreen. Get here now. And pull every cold case file from '03 Oregon abductions. Laura, ever efficient. Promise arrival in 45 minutes. Her voice cracking with emotion. Victor, if it's her, will nail them. Elena listened, piecing her own puzzle. I had nightmares, beach, screams. Thought it was trauma from the wreck. But if you're my dad, why no search? No missing posters. Victor winced, guilt flooding. There were billboards, TV specials. But the leads dried up. I blamed myself, poured everything into finding you. The foundation? It's all for you. Amber Alerts, child ID programs. $500 million. Elena, no, Isabella, or whatever you want. She stood abruptly, pacing. Elena, that's who I am now. Build a life. Friends, a boyfriend, a union. Night classes for engineering certs. Don't append it with princess returns crap. But tears betrayed her. The dam cracking after years of self-reliance. Laura arrived in a flurry, laptop under arm, hugging Victor fiercely before turning to Elena. May I? She scanned the photo against Elena's face via facial rec software, 99.8% match. Then cross-referencing Oregon foster databases. Elena Reyes, place 2003, originating from an anonymous emergency surrender in Salem. No birth records, but DNA kits ordered stat. Victor, this lines up. The beach abduction spiked intakes that summer. Trafficking whispers. The trio huddle for hours. Elena recounting fragments. A kind lady with van candy. Then blank years in group homes. Victor shared stories. Isabella's first steps in their cramped apartment. Her obsession with drawing whales. Laughter mingled with sobs. The sights hum fading outside. By dusk, preliminary DNA from a cheek swab matched Victor's archive sample from the foundation. 99.99% paternal link. News leaked via workers' text. Within hours, Seattle PD reopened case hashtag or 03-4782, assigning a task force. Victor's PR team, sensing a miracle, drafted a statement. A father's dream realized. My daughter long lost found. But Elena balked. No press yet. I need time to process, to verify. Victor nodded, respecting her boundaries, arranging a quiet dinner at his waterfront home. Pasta Alfredo, her childhood favorite, unearthed from old recipe cards. Over plates, barriers crumbled. Elena spoke of hardships. Foster abuse at 12. Dropping out at 16 to support herself. The pride in earning her CDL for heavy equipment. Victor listened, validating each scar. You're stronger than I ever was, he said. I built empires to fill the hole you left. You built a life from nothing. She softened, asking about Elena, her mother. Victor pulled albums, videos of Isabella's recitals, Elena's laughter echoing. DNA confirmation arrived at midnight, lab expedited. Irrefutable. Elena, Isabella, stayed the night in her old room, preserved as a shrine. Teddy bears, posters of mermaids. Victor slept on the couch, vigilant against vanishing again. The next day, revelations accelerated. Laura's digs uncovered a lead. Margaret Hale, a Salem social worker retired in 2010, linked to 5 surrenders that summer. Subpoenaed records showed falsified stamps. Hale's address traced to a nursing home in Eugene. Victor and Elena drove down together, the coastal highway stirring Elena's flashes. A van's rumble, Hale's stern face. At the home, Hale, 78 and frail, confessed after initial denials. They paid me. Traffickers from Portland rings. Kids for adoption black market. $20,000 a head. I thought it was mercy, better than streets. Your girl? Cried for daddy weeks. Hale's testimony cracked the case wide. 3 accomplices named, 2 deceased, 1 in Arizona prison for unrelated fraud. Federal charges loomed. Trafficking, forgery. Hale cooperating for leniency. Elena confronted her. You stole my life, but you didn't break me. Hale wept, unburdened after decades. Media frenzy erupted despite precautions. TMZ broke billionaire's missing daughter found. Construction worker twin? Victor's statement aired on CNN. Isabella Reyes Langford is home. Our story underscores the shadows in child welfare. Langtech pledges $100 million more to eradication efforts. Elena, gaining confidence, added in a joint interview, I'm no lost princess. I'm a worker, a survivor. Dad's money helps, but my hands built this reunion. In the echoing corridors of sprawling Seattle construction site, where steel beams pierced the rainy sky and workers hustled against deadlines for a new tech campus, billionaire software magnate Victor Langford froze mid-stride upon locking eyes with a hard-hatted laborer whose face mirrored the long-lost daughter he had mourned for 25 years. A resemblance so uncanny it shattered decades of grief and unearthed buried secrets that would upend his empire and redefine family forever. Victor Langford had amassed a fortune that placed him squarely on Forbes' list of the world's richest, with a net worth exceeding $12 billion derived from Langtech, the pioneering AI firm he founded in his garage in 1998. At 58 years old, Langford's empire spanned cloud computing, machine learning algorithms that power half the Fortune 500's data centers, and recent ventures into quantum encryption that promised to secure global finance. His success story was legendary. A dropout from MIT who coded his first algorithm on a borrowed laptop, he navigated the dot-com bust by pivoting to enterprise software, securing a $50 million venture round in 2002 that ballooned into a 2015 IPO valued at $80 billion. Langford's personal life, however, remained a shadowed footnote. Married young to Elena Vasquez, a graphic designer he met at a campus coffee shop, they welcomed their only child, Isabella, in 1999. Elena's sudden death from a brain aneurysm in 2001 left Victor a single father, raising Isabella amid board meetings and buyouts. But tragedy struck again in 2003. During a family trip to the Oregon coast, 5-year-old Isabella vanished from a crowded beach boardwalk, her tiny hand slipping from Victor's grasp amid a 4th of July throng. Despite exhaustive searches, FBI profilers, private investigators scouring 3 states, and a $10 million reward, she was never found. Presumed drowned or abducted, her case went cold, etching a permanent scar on Victor's soul. He poured grief into work, founding the Langford Foundation in her name, which donated $500 million to child safety initiatives. But he never remarried, never dated, his penthouse office overlooking Puget Sound a solitary vigil. On that overcast November morning in 2024, Langford arrived unannounced at the Evergreen Tech campus site. A $2 billion project Langtech was funding to house its West Coast expansion. He preferred these inspections incognito, shedding his Armani suits for a hard hat and work boots, blending with the crews to gauge morale firsthand. The site buzzed with activity. Crane operators signaling lifts, welders sparking arcs, and laborers hauling rebar under the relentless drizzle. Langford, clipboard in hand, chatted with foremen about delays from supply chain snarls when he rounded a corner near the E scaffold. There, directing a pile of concrete blocks, stood a young woman in her late 20s, her dark hair tied back under a yellow helmet, safety vest smeared with mud. She barked orders with quiet authority. Ease it left, watch the lip. Her profile sharp against the gray sky. Victor halted, his breath catching as if punched. The woman's face, turned briefly in the light, was Isabella's, high cheekbones, almond eyes flecked with gold, the faint dimple on her left cheek that deepened when she concentrated. It wasn't a vague likeness. It was exact, down to the subtle scar above her right eyebrow from a childhood fall off her bike. The clipboard slipped from his fingers, clattering on the gravel. The woman, Isabella or her ghost, turned fully, wiping sweat from her brow. "You okay, sir? Need a medic?" Her voice carried the lilt of the Pacific Northwest, unchanged from the bedtime stories Victor once read her about pirate adventures. Victor staggered forward, his 6 feet 2 inches frame trembling. "Bella? Isabella? My God, it's you." Tears welled unbidden, streaking his weathered face. Workers paused, exchanging puzzled glances, but Victor didn't notice. He reached out, fingers brushing her arm as if testing reality. The woman, her name tag read Elena Reyes, stepped back, confusion knitting her brow. "Do I know you? Sorry, I don't." "Your eyes," Victor choked, voice raw. The scar from that bike crash in '02. And your laugh. I'd know it anywhere. The beach. Oregon, July 4th. You were 5, blue sundress, chasing seagulls. I turned for 1 second. Elena's face paled, her tool belt sagging as she processed. Around them, the site foreman, Mike Harlan, a burly veteran of 20 years in construction, approached cautiously. Boss, everything all right? This guy's one of the owners, Victor Langford. Elena's eyes widened, not in recognition, but wariness. Langford? As in Langtech? Look, mister, I've got a crew to run. If you're lost, security's that way. But doubt flickered. The details he recited, the dress, the goals, hit too close, stirring fragments of nightmares from her own fractured memory. Victor pulled a worn photo from his wallet, a faded Polaroid of Isabella at 4, gap-toothed smile beaming. He thrust it forward. Look, it's you. We have to talk. Now. Please. Harlan intervened gently. Mr. Langford, maybe the trailer? Give her space. He radioed for a break. Clearing the area as Victor led Elena to the site office, a prefab unit with blueprints pinned to walls and a coffee pot gurgling. Inside, Victor sank into a chair, Elena perching on the desk edge, the photo between them. I thought you were gone, he whispered. Drowned, or worse. The police searched for months. I never stopped. Private eyes, DNA in databases. How? Where have you been? Elena's hands shook as she studied the image. Flashes assaulted her. Sand between toes. Fireworks bursting. A man's hand is pulling away. Then darkness. Strangers' voices. A new name. I don't remember much. Woke up in a foster home in Portland, age 7. They call me Elena after some aunt. Reyes from the caseworker. Told me my folks died in a wreck. I aged out at 18, bounced jobs, waitressing, factory line, till I got into trade school. Been union labor 5 years now. But this... She tapped the photo. It's me. God, it's me. Victor's mind raced, piecing timelines. Portland was 200 miles north of the beach. Foster records could confirm. Abduction, he murmured. Someone took you, sold you, maybe into the system. There were rings back then, falsifying docs for unclaimed kids. He grabbed his phone, dialing his foundation's director, Laura Chun, a former FBI agent. Laura,